Morning, guys. Good morning. Ravens Bengals tonight, Thursday night football. Oh man, I cannot wait for this game. 6-3 Ravens, 4-5 Bengals. Trade deadline's finished. Let's go through it all. Let's start with Cincinnati. They are banged up. They are really banged up. Chase Brown, their rookie running back, he's banged up. Most likely will play, but he's banged up. Zach Moss, the other running back's hurt. He's out. They just traded for Khalil Herbert, who is a nice little pass catcher, but I don't think he's going to run through the tackles and change anything. He's certainly no Derrick Henry. T. Higgins is banged up. Whether or not he plays is a big deal. And their rookie tight end, Eric Hall, who's apparently an integral part of their running game, he's hurt. He's not going to play. They're banged up. They're fighting with each other on the sideline a little bit. Burrow frustrated, but they're desperate and they have to win. And it's always that always favors the team that's desperate. It's always a better spot to be in there in the regular season. So they're 4-5, and they're staring at what they lose today to the Ravens. Now they're 3 games behind us. Lost a tiebreaker, and they got to shoot. They are really uphill battle right for the last 7 games of the year. They'd be 4-6. So they're coming into tonight, have to win. And they can't beat us. They're having a hard time beating us. Lamar owns Burrow. We beat him earlier in the year. What a wild game that was, 38-28. Then Lamar has, I guess it's the play of the year for this year. He's got so many highlights. Who knows? Can't keep track of them. But he's running around, dropping the snap, doing God knows what, throwing the ball up in the air for a touchdown. Now it's 38-35. And the Bengals play it too conservatively. We all know what happened. They missed their field goal as Tucker tied it up, and then we went in overtime. So Bengals are desperate for a win. Desperate for a win. Offensively, as I just went over, they're banged up. But how do they match up against the Ravens defense that can't figure this out? 32nd against the pass, first against the run. But I'm worried about the rush defense. I don't know if it's going to bite us tonight because the Bengals are going to have a hard time as their running game is pretty weak. But the Ravens did not address what I thought needed to be addressed was getting another big body to stop the run. They're in a tough spot. Travis Jones didn't play a lot last week as he's banged up. He's going to play a lot tonight, I imagine. Michael Pierce is not available. Brent Urban, don't know if he's available. He's hurt. I don't know. He's not a difference maker either. Respectfully, Broderick Washington, Broderick Washington, I think he's a great, part of the rotation, if you will, but they're going to rely on him a lot. And Matabuke, by all accounts, is not having the type of season that he had last year. Just not. So the defensive line is not in a great spot, in my opinion. The reason why they're so good against the rush is because they've been playing with the lead for, almost every single game for a long period of time. So teams aren't in a position to run the ball against us. But I'm not just a little anxious about that. I don't think it's going to bite us tonight because the Bengals are going to come out and just throw the ball. They threw the ball a million times against us last time, and it worked. I have no reason to think they won't do that tonight. But yeah, the way the Chiefs ran Pacheco right up the middle in that AFC Championship game last year, that's going to be the way to attack this Ravens defense is right up the middle, right at Roquan, right at Simpson. They're having a hard time guarding the backs and tight ends. Again, I don't know if it bites them tonight because the Bengals don't have a ton of great skill players outside of their 2 receivers. Gesicki, the tight end, is and I already went over their running back situation. But that's the way you're going to attack the Ravens is right up the middle. We'll see if we can hold up on the defensive line. The pass rush, it is what it is. I didn't think there was a trade that would have dramatically improved it. I know the Steelers get Preston Smith. Zadarius Smith goes to the Lions. I don't know. Frankly, I'm not as worried about the pass rush. I think Van Noy's a gamer. I think as the season goes on, he'll be an integral part. I think he is as the top dog as your pass rusher. You could do a lot worse. And they invested a lot in Owe, so it's his spot over there. He flashes, and then he kind of disappears. It'd be nice for him. He seems to play big on a big stage. Tonight would be a big night for him as the Bengals offensive line is really banged up. They got a starting right tackle who is a rookie who's pretty good, but he's still a rookie. Orlando Brown looks like he's out. Their left tackle. Their offensive line's never that good anyway. So it'd be nice for Oweh to get going. They got in Dockway, so he's the third pass rusher. He's part of that rotation. Um, that's just where they're at with the pass rush. Yeah, we could have improved it, but I personally would have rather than improved on the defensive line to stop the run. Regardless, this is the team that we have. They did make one trade for Tre'Davious White. What a tough career Tre'Davious White's had. You can make the argument a couple years ago that he was a top 3, top 4 corner in the whole league. He was a first round pick, and he lived up to those expectations. And then he just messed up his legs, messed up his knees, 2 surgeries later, and he was going to get released by the Rams. I know people are giving DeCosta a lot of credit, but the truth of the matter is he was going to get released. So, yeah, we got him, but he's just not playing for the Rams. He couldn't get on the field for a Rams defense that's not exactly, the 2000 Ravens. So I don't know how good he is. I know he'll feel better coming here because everybody feels better coming here and playing defense for the Ravens. It's just the history of it. Older players tend to do better when they come here for their last chapter of their career. So it can't hurt. So Tre'Davious White's added. They still have, Millette for depth purposes. So they got 4 corners with Wiggins and Humphrey. You could do a lot worse. Marcus Williams and Hamilton, and then you got Jackson in the rotation. They can do a lot worse. And they got the rookie Bede. So I think the defense is going to be good enough for them to win the Super Bowl. I don't think it's going to cost them. I think it's going to come down to Lamar in the fourth quarter, the way it did last year. I think the defense will hold up. I don't think it'll be dominant. They'll probably have 1 or 2 more stinkers. I don't think it'll be tonight. I think we're going to get a really good defensive performance tonight. This feels like an under to me. It feels like a tighter game. I think the Bengals are going to throw a lot, but I think it's going to be a lot of quick throws. That's really what they did to score all those points against us earlier in the year. It was just we couldn't tackle Chase on quick slants. So I expect a lot of quick passes from the Bengals, and offensively, I think they're going to struggle. I think they'll score 17, 20 points. I think it'll be a tight game, but I think the Ravens are going to play pretty good on defense. On the other side of the ball, it's like, where do you even begin with Lamar? Because you just run out of words. It's amazing to watch him play. He's amazing. The reason I don't talk about him so much is because I just don't really even know what to say. There's like no comp whatsoever to what he's doing week in and week out. His personality is one of one. You just don't even know where to begin. You feel like if you talk about him, you have to talk about him for like hours and hours and hours and cover every little thing because he's an anomaly. No person, no players ever had his trajectory. No amount of people have ever been this wrong about somebody this good. It just never has happened. He is so good. He's getting better and better. We just got to keep watching. I feel like he's not even at his peak. I feel like we're still probably a year or 2 away from him being at his peak as he's just able to navigate the field and make big throw after big throw after big throw. If he has an Achilles heel, if there's something that we question him about, right, it's his playoff performance, and tonight's going to feel like a playoff game. It's prime time. The Bengals are going to do everything they can to try to disrupt them and force some turnovers and blitz and spy, and they got to throw everything at him because nothing anybody's doing is working. So you may as well just try everything, and that's what I expect tonight. I expect a lot of random stuff. BJ Hill, their top defensive tackle, is not going to play, and that to me pushes this game as the Ravens should be able to win it because just run the football up the middle. The Bengals are going to be creative in the secondary. Their defensive coordinator is good. He's smart. They might trick Lamar once or twice. Let's not even give them a chance to do it. This game should feel like the Buffalo game on, was it Monday night or Sunday night? Just run the ball, establish the tone. There's a reason, by the way, the Bills traded for 2 defensive tackles or signed 2 defensive tackles, whatever they did, because the Ravens ran the ball right down the middle. And you can't beat the Ravens if they're just going to run the ball right down the middle. The Bengals are soft up front. Their middle linebacker, Pratt, is soft. They should be able to just run right at them. Derrick Henry, Patrick Ricard, and company, Justice Hill, just run the ball. Like, let's not make this complicated. Put 2, 3 tight ends out there and just grind away, grind away, grind away. I'd like this game to feel 27-16, and hopefully it's not tight. If the Ravens aren't able to do that, to me, it could be a 20-17, 24-21, 23-20 type of game. I just think both teams are going to treat this like a playoff game. So I expect a more conservative approach from the Ravens offensively because everybody's watching. Like we know what the criticism is if they start throwing the ball all over the field. The way they played last week was perfect. Just run the football. And the Bengals are going to play aggressive as far as throwing the ball, but I don't think they're going to be aggressive throwing the ball down the field. They just have to play efficient. And I think our red zone defense was so good in the second half last week. I expect that to be the difference. A lot of field goals tonight. So that's my analysis of the game. I'm excited to watch it. That's for sure. Let's see what else. One thing that jumped out at me, if you're betting early with the football games, this Giants Panthers game has already gone down a point and a half with the under. It started at 41.5. It's gone down to 40. I think that'll continue to go down. They're going to play in Germany. Giants Panthers game. If you're inclined to bet that and you like the under, get that one in. And there was one other one. Where'd it go? It was the Colts and the Bills. So I love my Colts. They're getting 4. I don't know who really feels like betting on the Colts right now, / betting against Buffalo. Buffalo feels like that's going up to 5, maybe even higher. So if you like the Bills, I would jump on that. I cannot bet on the Colts this week, but I hope that they win. Me just looking at the games, the one game that jumped out at me was the Cardinals. Getting the Jets at home. The Jets do get some extra rest, but I think it's a good matchup for Arizona. I like the vibe out there with Arizona. They dominated Chicago. Betting against Aaron Rodgers used to be like a no-no. That would be like, why do that? Now I don't fear that. So Cardinals jumped out at me as a game to look at. And yeah, that's that. So I will break down more of the games on Sunday. Pod come out tomorrow. Pods on Saturday. So a lot going on this weekend. Some really good college football games. So good luck to whatever you're doing. Enjoy the game tonight. Should be a lot of fun. I got the Ravens to hopefully not make it a super stressful fourth quarter, but let's be honest, it should probably be a stressful fourth quarter. So let's get ready for it. Hope you guys have a good day. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow.